Tell me what's your favourite tune for Morgan Heritage?
My favourite tune is the Can't Get Me Out.
Yeah.
Can't Get Me Out. It's about basically all people with their bad mind, run to up your man, try and done your thing, done your dance, and it don't work. And it because you're praising the most high. Understand? That I love called God's. That tune them God. Come on, God, everything that you don't leave out without your bang bang. Can say them will send man to erase you. You understand? They're coming for you, so you can't afford to take a check from a guy and a girl. You understand? But guess what? My all-time favorite Morgan Heritage tune is Roots, right? Raid Roots dance. And it goes, they don't love like I and I. Big tune. That's one of the biggest tunes. And let me give you a little bit of background history on that tune. That tune was an original Steel Pulse tune. Yeah? Steel Pulse did that tune in the 1980s, right? And they called it blues dance, raid blues dance, where the police come in and kind of want to mash up a little blues dance, you get me? Yeah? So, yeah, Morgan Heritage for life, brethren. They are one of the founding, they come around the 90s, 2000, and their father, Denroy Morgan, big artist as well, you get me? Right, and when they was doing their thing, yeah? Foolish thing. When they was doing their thing, yeah? Remember they did Down by the River, they did bare tunes, yeah? When they was doing their thing, they said it don't have to be dread to be Rasta. A lot of people got a problem with that. Wickedest thing, come on. Wickedest thing.
As a big sound man and thing that, you know, long time I follow this man, Morgan Heritage, you know. And most of the big tunes that we have them come from, the best singer come from Jamaica. Now rate Margaret Rich.
Yes.
And the big man that you like Barris and all, but Margaret Rich go back, way back.
What's your favourite?
Yeah, that project to be Rasta. And one day a tone. Why Jamaica people full of screw face? That was my record there.
Empress Storm, how you doing, darling?
I am blessed, can't complain. How are you?
I'm not too bad. We're here at the Morgan Heritage launch party. How long have you been following Morgan Heritage?
Boy, from as far back as I can remember, to be honest with you, all the way back into the 90s.
Yes.
Standard foundation as a reggae listener, like avid lover of reggae music.
Yeah, so what's your favourite tune for Morgan Heritage?
I ain't gonna lie, Down by the River.
Down by the River.
Down by the
Are you
River.
looking forward to their new material which they're coming out with?
I'm very much looking forward to hearing the new material. I'm very, very hyped for that. Like, this is one of the first events I've come out to for the year. I'm actually really hyped for it.
Daddy Fridge, how long have you been listening to Morgan Heritage?
Well, I would say about 20 years now.
Yeah. What's your favourite track from Morgan Heritage?
You know what? Probably a lot of people will say, I'm going to say, there's Down by the River, obviously, that's a classic. And, the day I town one day.
Brixton, on. My name is Seani B for BBC Radio 1 Extra. If it's one thing I love about Brixton, Brixton comes out and represents. Big shout out to the one of the Brixton community that is here. I love Uno. If you love reggae music, say yes, Seani. Now the people around the back, if you love reggae music, say yes, Seani. Can I welcome my brothers up on the stage right now? The Grammy-winning group, my brothers, Peetah, Mojo, and Gramps Morgan. Make some noise for Morgan Heritage.
Shocked.
Wait, you're shocked?
I'm shocked.
Why? They're shocking on.
Good evening, London. Did you have your tea today? Lovely.
Mojo, I have to start with you, you know. I've been seeing the Instagram posts. Have you guys following them on Instagram? Have you seen the Instagram posts? It look like you are give your brother Peetah a headache. It look like Peetah want to do you something, you know. You.
The Black Viking is out of control. I'm the African star, and that's the Black Viking. So I don't know why there should be this difference between us, but it is what it is.
I got 3 brothers and me not agree with them. I keep them far. I love them, but me not agree with them. Peetah, how do you deal with Mojo?
I just let him be. Just let him be. He can't do nothing phone and in camera, everything my for record, like. I just let him be.
Gramps, welcome to South London, Brixton, Pop Brixton.
Yeah, man, is that Jai?
What's your history, Morgan Heritage, with Brixton, with South London on a whole, but definitely Brixton?
Well, I remember the days, big up to all of the pirate station, them, you know, that kept reggae music alive in the days and when, you know, reggae and dancehall wasn't popular. So we give thanks for the days of when we used to go to all those stations and go to Black or Dread, you know, record shop, and people used to buy 45s. That's part of the culture. And the sound man them was a huge part of spreading on sound system culture. Rest in peace, Josh Shaka. You know, that really, yeah, man. And I think it's important that we continue to push forward the Jamaican and the Caribbean culture within the music. And this is what has made us arrive to the homeland, because we're there and seeing how are we going to reconnect the message in the music of reggae music with these young kids that are into their phones and on TikTok. And we have to find a way. So this is how we bring modern, what is known as pop music today, which is, you know, the Afrobeat is doing such a great thing, which is one of the genres out of Africa that's doing well for mainstream radio. And we mix it with some reggae and dancehall and call up Bounty Killer and call up Shaggy and say, yo, make we join forces and bring forth the message in the music.
Well, today they are here to promote the album, The Homeland. My people, have you listened to the album as yet? Who's listened to the album? It's a nice album. I like the album, you know. And when I listen to the album, Mojo, I'm not telling a lie. I don't take this as a disrespect. But when I listen to the album, I thought I was listening to music from Lion King. That's the vibe when we get. I felt like I was in the Sahara. I felt like I had a shield and a spear, and I was looking for food in the Sahara. I felt that energy of Africa. Tell me about the album.
So, yeah, the Homeland is an ode to the land of our ancestors. In Jamaica, where our parents are born, and Africa, where, you know, everything that you can trace from the diaspora goes back to Africa. So for us, we want to take the audience on a journey that we've been on over the last, 15 plus years, traveling across the continent, working with our counterparts over there like Yusu Indoor, Diamond Platinums, Stone Boy, Pato Rankin, and what made us decide to finally put a body of work together that reflects our travels and the cultures we've embraced and the different languages and everything that we've encountered and all the friends that we've made, more importantly. And we do that by combining the songs from across Africa with the songs from Jamaica in reggae and dancehall, and even the Caribbean with local Spice Island in there with Mr. Killer on the album.
So I have to ask a question, and I know the history of Morgan Heritage, but being a BBC journalist, I have to ask these type of questions. Is this album jumping on the wave of Wagwan with Afrobeats right now, or is this album really about Morgan Heritage and the connection to Africa? Peetah.
Well, I mean, timing, we can't control timing. This album, we've been working on this album for the past 4 or 5 years. And through the pandemic and thing, we didn't put no music out, but give thanks to Gramps Morgan. You know, you got good Morgan music from Gramps Morgan. So with this album now, it's really for us. We lost our father last year, Honorable Denroy Morgan. And from our growing up as children of Rastafari, African consciousness has always been in our household. Was always a part of our father's vision and dream to return to Africa. When we started going to Africa on a regular basis, our father was very happy. You know, and we went to Africa 2008, and they brought us to Gorée Island. I don't know if you're familiar with that. Gorée Island is where they took the slaves out of Senegal. Seeing, and the mayor of Gorée Island told us, he charged us and said, please, speak to the children of the diaspora and tell them to return home. Africa awaits its creators. Because when they took the slaves out of Africa, they didn't take the weakest of Africa. They took the strongest out of Africa to build the Western world. So, yes, Afrobeat is what's happening right now, but like Mojo said, Afrobeat is not the only music out of Africa. Afrobeat is unique to Nigeria and Ghana. And this album, The Homeland, we've got a taste of South Africa, East Africa, West Africa, North Africa. You know what I mean? So Africa on a whole as a continent with 50 plus countries, it means that much to us, where we have to do something in music because music is our gift. See, in reggae music, we've given you 12 albums. Like, what more can we give you in reggae music but more good reggae music? So for ourselves and our legacy and our children's legacy, so when they look back and say, you know, what iconic thing that our parents do when they become older, they can look at one album in our category and say, our fathers and our sister Una did something for the world musically that's more than just reggae music. Because what African music I realize is, reggae music was created in Jamaica through sufferation. So reggae give you a rude boy kind of energy when you listen to it. Dancehall music give you energy when you listen to it. Even the subject matter is very, it can go from very sexual to calm to very violent. Africa now, when I go Africa, you know, we're not looked at as black people. We're looked at as a human being. Anywhere else we go in the world, we're looked upon as black people or those niggas over there, or, I'm sorry, but it's reality. And we're grown people. When you go home, you go home. I've been in this business for so long, doing reggae music around the world. I saw a DJ play a song with Peetah from the album. And when the song starts playing, man starts skank like a rude boy. Countenance and everything. And when he went to the other songs, the African music, there was a pleasantness that came over his face. And he started dancing, he started jumping like he was in the Masai Mara, like the Masai warriors. Because it gives you an energy of freedom. And this album, we made it so that we can rejuvenate the DNA in our skin as black people, because we lost ourselves. You know what I mean? We are the only people in the world who are displaced from our homeland. The Indians, when you go to an Indian restaurant anywhere in the world, it feel like you're going to India. When you go to China restaurant anywhere in the world amongst Chinese people, so tell them about a thing named Chinatown. New York, Chinatown, they don't have Chinatown in England, yeah? Yes. Paris, they have Chinatown. So no matter what China they're in the world, they're Chinese. We as black people, anywhere they, oh, I'm not from Africa, man, I'm American. Or I'm British, or I'm French. No, man, you're a black man, you're black people, you're African. So it's our musical mission to carry our audience with us. It's not to alienate the audience or to say Morgan Heritage has abandoned reggae. Never, we are reggae. That's what we do, that's who we are. But at the end of the day, before I'm reggae, I'm a black man. We're black people. So if I can do a hip-hop song, and nobody now nothing to say, because Morgan Heritage do hip-hop already. You hear Mojo rap for years. We've done slow songs, we've done love songs, we've done folk songs. Now's the time we decide, so we want to do something through our ancestors. And there's Africa in there.
I want to know if any of them know how to cook jollof rice, you know.
Where work, buddy?
I don't know. You know, before we get into the album, we're going to play a couple songs off of the album. And then we're going to get into a little small Morgan Heritage performance. I know that you guys have traveled quite a few countries in Africa. Big up to my Kenyan people, I love Kenya. Big up to my Ghanaian people, I love Ghana. But which one of the African countries do you see as home to you?
Ghana?
Well, there's always been a special connection because we find the data, right? We like to, even I went as far as got a DNA test to check really where we come from. It's
Which
like
part you come from?
Yeah, and predominantly most of my bloodline is between Ghana and Nigeria. But growing up as Rastafarians, our parents, our father in particular, always said, "Him want set up in Africa, in Kenya, for the West, for East Africa, and in Ghana." More so because of the go to New York, go to visit Africa.
And you know what? I tell people, you know, forget Iron Apple for the summer. Forget them place there, Ibiza for the summer. Try find yourself out of Ghana, out of Kenya. God, let me tell you something, big vibe of the place. Lock my ears and just look for the people them and sway blind. But they're the Caribbean, you get what I'm saying? So
even in Ghana, you feel the same way. Those who come from Jamaica and who have been to Ghana, you feel like the same way. Even some of the words that you trace back, when you have a thing named blue draws. All the Jamaican them say pam pam. All right. So who know blue draws? All right. And the other word for blue draws named dukono. And in Ghana, they call it the same thing, dukono.
You see the dumpling where a buffalo them call it or something.
Yeah.
Dumpling. And
And
the watch is like rice and peas.
Yes.
So we are one people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, it
So,
real.
we don't want to hear some music now. Lord, don't make me drop. Don't make me drop. So Mojo, because you are the MD, the musical director, it seems like
Hello.
you control. Yo, people, this brother give me a headache. I said, Jesus, Lord. But it's my brother.
Only because I love you, my brother.
It's my brother, same way. Just in case you don't know, when I say I'm family with Morgan Heritage, in 2016, I won a Grammy Award with Morgan Heritage.
That's correct.
The Strictly Roots album. Myself and my brother Don Chan, the producer and performer Don. So I say thank you to these guys all the time for allowing me to have a Grammy plaque. Where we start with first? Mr. Mighty, you good over there? So you have the album ready to go? You're speaking to Mr. Mighty, yeah?
Mr. Mighty.
Mr. Mighty.
All right.
Where we going first?
So we're gonna go take a trip to South Africa. Gramps discovered this choir named Brothers and Sisters Art Organization on Instagram, and immediately he shared it with Peter and I and said, "Yo, this have the essence of what we need for open the album with, for really put everybody in the right mindset to prepare them on the journey that they're about to take." We couldn't recreate it. We tried our best and get in touch with them, with the co-producer, you named Jusa the Mentor from Zimbabwe, and when we started to dive into the meaning of Bambelela, which is what you guys are about to hear, it's Zulu for you killed my mother. So when we check what's going on in Africa, for us it's like we want the next generation of Africans at home and abroad to understand that we will embrace our former colonizers to come in and work with us strategically to help to build the infrastructure, develop the continent and bring innovation, but not at a cost. It should be a partnership where we actually have mutual beneficial components. That doesn't exist. So it gives us that essence, that feeling of standing up together for Africa, by Africa, right? Then we reason with the choir and they sing it because it has comfort to them because of the rise of GBV, which stands for gender-based violence in South Africa, you know, and took a trip a few weeks ago and understood that it also has, you know, meaning where June 15, 1976, some kids were protesting peacefully against being taught in a foreign language. And they were gunned down by the police. The police opened fire on them because they didn't want to be learned in a language called Afrikaans, spoken by, you know, the oppressors in that country during apartheid. So the song grew on us and became this whole movement called Bambelela. And I hope you guys will enjoy this journey with us. Welcome to the Homeland, London.
Blessings. Mr. Mighty. You see, you have to excuse my ignorance when I say Lion King. Because that's what my ears still, you get what I'm saying? I see Simba on the rock. And that I visualize it. And if there's any publishers here that I want to do a sync deal, and you got a next African film out, just check us for the Homeland. Peetah, you are the main vocalist in Morgan Heritage. Even though you share the responsibilities with your deep vice brother, but you usually hold like the lead. When you hear an intro like that, what do you think about and how you're gonna approach the album?
When you hear singing like that, it brings me back to a part of myself that I never knew existed. Because it awakens something in me that I've never experienced in the Western Hemisphere. So that when we say, oh, yeah, son, we weren't taken out of Africa by choice. We were taken out of Africa by force. And when they brought us here, what was beaten out of us was that way you hear that song.
Is there a language barrier that you have to go over, or do you hear the sound of the drums? Do you feel the passion
There you go.
Gramps, I struggle with a Burna Boy song at the best of times.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So to hear that, I'm hearing that and I'm saying, I don't know what the song is about.
Right.
But there's something that tells me it's like 1,000 Africans marching out, ready for go to war.
The power of music. And I was watching a Peetah interview the other day that it just encourages us. Wi-Fi, I need to know the password. So when you hear the drums, it's the power of the drums, you know, that ignite that energy in you. You don't need to know what they're saying because the DNA is going to be programmed. So let the revolution begin. That as we awaken our people, when they hear the drums, it could have been Spanish. From them here. You dig? It's gonna wake up. It's the essence of the music. So welcome to the Homeland. We have just begun.
Did you guys ask for translations for the songs?
Every lyric.
Tell us about some of the lyrics in there, Mojo.
With nowhere to turn to, you killed my mother. And that's Zulu. It's a traditional music called Mbube in South Africa, mostly of mourning. And it became famous in the world by Miriam Makeba around that same time. And people may remember Paul Simon with the Graceland album, Lady Smith, Black Mumbazu. They also is a Mbube vocal choral group.
All right, next track, sir. Where we going next?
Far east to the land of our father, Ethiopia. A youth named Rafnan, and the Ethiopians in here tonight. They may know him. If not, you're gonna know him tonight. We do this one with Jenkuman. It's a very interesting song because we met him before he became a megastar. He's the biggest star in Ethiopia today. And we met him in 2019.
Jenkuman, yeah, tell me.
Rafnan.
Oh, I thought he was named Jenkuman.
Yeah, Rafnan. We met him. Jenkuman, we're working almost 20 years now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's our brother. But Rafnan, they're on the song together.
Yes.
Jenkuman is...
First inspiration for this song was Can You Feel It? You know, positivity taking over, no more barriers. You know, it's about coming together. So it was an energy that was moving through the land. So all we could say is, can you feel it? Can you feel it? So that's what the song's about.
Track 2.
What's happening? Who could it be? Gentleman, Rafnan, and Morgan. Oh, yes. And that's the myself. Born to be conscious. You're the break coming together. Yes. Right the days and right the future. So when I live with all the confrontation, till then seek redemption. The village is rising, and we're climbing to the heights of prosperity never failing. The masses is fighting positivity. Oneness is flowing, yeah. How can you
Very bold statements that you guys are making musically. I kind of feel that Morgan Heritage are secret line dubstep fans. I'll choose that Gramps.
What's amazing is that, and I like the way we talked about the difference in the language, because Rafnan is speaking Amharic, which is the Ethiopian language. And even though it's like people say, here Morgan Heritage touring in Japan and touring in Germany, and they say, do they understand what you're saying? And it's the same thing. It's the feeling, it's the power of the music, the power of the one drop, and it's similar to this. Like when you say like, okay, the energy of the dubstep when you feel, and Rafnan is able to mix Ethiopian traditional music with dubstep, and that is a product that you hear.
How do you find an artist like this? Because you're Morgan Heritage. Like, you don't need to go and look for smarter artists or big artists as such, you know what I'm saying? But it seems like you've gone out of your way to, there's a whole array of different artists that's on this album.
Well, we're ambassadors, right? It's like we were talking, we're ambassadors of reggae music, we're ambassadors of Jamaica. It's like when we saw what you did with the clash, bringing sound clash culture to Africa. You're an ambassador. So you come from the UK as a Jamaican descent, representing BBC Radio, and was able to bring sound clash culture to Africa. You're an ambassador, so it's the same thing with me. That when we go to these places over the years, going to Kenya, we want to know who's the local artist. Let's connect, let's trade. That is our duty, representing Jamaicans and representing Rasta and representing reggae music. You can't just go to these places, do your show or stay in your hotel all day. First thing we want, the amount of African food with Mojo know. Because I've done it.
Why you have to say Mojo not the African food?
Because this man, he went to, first of all, he went to 9 card. When my father leave Jamaica and left 4th grade out of school, he said, you are going to school, my children is going to go to school and get education. We don't want to be the Rastas that talk about going to Africa and never visit Africa.
People, I can tell you as fact, the night that Morgan Heritage won the Grammy, I phoned this man and woke him up in Nairobi. Real talk. Yeah. You lived there. He was in Dubai.
Lies.
No, he was in Dubai. He was in Dubai. So why you tell me still in there in Nairobi?
Stop it.
It won't make it look good. But you do have that link in Kenya in that kind of manner. That's your place.
Yeah, it's true. I was in Dubai visiting a friend of ours named Joseph Kusaga, who actually was introducing us to Diamond Platinums at that time. A few months after we won the Grammy, we were invited to Rwanda to share the stage with him. And that gave birth to Hallelujah, which is really when the modern collaborations with this new African sound that is taking the world by storm happened. And you know the journey from
I'm
there.
glad that you spoke. How many years ago was that?
2006. 6, 7 years ago.
That's why I say I know what one, but I have to ask the journalist questions.
Yeah,
Guy,
so-
you never jump on the bandwagon. You've been doing this for a
our
while.
publicist told us actually behind Abracadabra that in about 5 years they're gonna call you guys geniuses. There was no home. We didn't record one tune for Homeland, but we understood the assignment and the mission to maintain the cultural exchange bridge that we didn't start between Jamaica and the Caribbean and Africa. But it's our duty now at the forefront of this thing to maintain it and ensure that it is in existence for the next generation to continue to build upon it and go back and forth.
So we're in the promo run right now for the Homeland album. Make sure you know when you go here, you are just streaming it. I was gonna say go check Black and Dread and go buy a CD, but you can't do that no more. Big up my boss, Black and Dread, same thing. Where we going next now, Mojo?
Let's go to somewhere.
Sounds like a single. We want a video for that, you know. We want a video for that, you know, Mojo.
It's loaded.
It's loaded.
It's loaded.
Beenie Man and Shaggy together, two superstars of Jamaican music. I know Shaggy never just got the song, recorded the song and sent it back to you. I know the... You know what? We're ready. Yeah, can make some noise for the song.
You know what's funny about that song, Seani, is that when you hear that song, I might say, ready. That is the influence of Jamaica all the way in Africa. Those guys are Africans and them sound like they come from Jamaica.
I thought it was Buju on there for a second.
All right.
But not to the line. I thought it's what song you never sing right this song. Don't sing that song in the please. Now, you're talking about the influence of Jamaica to Africa, Africa to Jamaica. And when I listened to this album, I thought about you.
And for you guys to be here with us to hear what really went into the album, it means a lot to us because London is the first place we came in Europe. And you guys have been welcoming us with open arms year after year after year. It's been a 2-decade plus, love affair. And we'll be back in the fall to come and play good music for you from the new album.
I'm not going to say my clothes off this interview.
Yes, because we want to take them.
No. From this artist in such fine voice and the lyrical content connect. You know when you jive and you say, yo, I want that. You want each other song?
One of them vibes there.
Yeah.
So as black people in England, we've been through a lot. As black people in the diaspora, we endured a lot. So we try to forget the pain sometimes, but sometimes we have to remember. To understand where we're really going, we have to, remember the past. So we can reflect and stand firm in the future. So this one is called Remember, featuring the reggae legend from Africa, out of Ivory Coast, named Alpha Blonde, and the fireman Peetah.
Heritage.
And before we sing, we gotta thank you, Seani. It's been a joy having a conversation with you. Big up Brixton, Chop Life, Activate Us, Raf, JB, Cast the whole crew, our brother Baga John, who's built it with us over the years, Playmaker Group, for being there, making sure you stay in tune with the music. It means a lot to us having this conversation about this album with just a number.
I love that song.
Yeah, and then we get into some classics.
People make some noise, please, for Homeland. I think of you guys as well, we stay out there, we appreciate that. It's Brixton after all. We like the new Brixton. We like it.
So this is just a little tears, What y'all be there?
Yeah, to take a little break.
Oh, nice. So we're gonna do a small Q&A, right?
Yes.
Any questions?
Few questions.
About the album, we're just gonna take a few, all right?
Yeah, I think Seani said we take
I'm
7.
on the phone, look a bit, not mighty God and Joseph.
You want to sing the song first? No, because when we sing the song, we got to go to bed because then we got to go up country.
You know,
to visit the media and the people up there.
Too many talk so much, I don't have to talk. I thought that they just want to hear the song then. But do we have any questions? You have a question? I have a question.
I'm the older one. Yeah.
We have any more questions out there? Or we just want to hear some song? Yes.
Say again?
What inspires you to make music?
To make this album or music overall?
Overall.
I would say my father. You know, to all the parents, you know, the parents are a child's first role model. So most of the time you find that a father influences children or the mother. So you find a father and a parents, maybe they're a doctor or lawyer. There's an 80% chance that that child is going to be in the medical field, right? So we grew up watching our father smoking spliff on the couch and I write tune to ready man. We said, why daddy, give me on, help your daddy. And so eventually Mojo was one of the first out of all of our 30 siblings. Our father had 30 children. Yeah, so you know, there's a lot of information to Morgan. Just tonight is about Homeland. And Mojo, when my father was touring with bands like Curtis Blow and Frankie Beverly and Mears, my father was the first artist to mix reggae and disco, you know? So a lot of people just know Denroy Morgan as the father of Morgan Heritage because he sacrificed his career to build his children, which was Morgan Heritage and LMS. And Mojo was the first one that went on tour with this light blue suit with a ruffled shirt. And he was sharp with some white shoes. And my father, every time he would hear the song go, I'll do anything for you. I'll give the world to you. Then if you want me to. It was a big, big song in the US, sold over 8 million copies. But he was the first Jamaican that let people know from the Americas that artists on the Caribbean could go mainstream. So Denroy Morgan is the one that kicked down the door for people like Shabba Ranks and Shaggy and Sean Paul and Billy Ocean, Caribbean Queen. Remember that song there? And Eddie Grant, we gonna rock down to Electric Avenue. And then you take, so you find that people don't remember that history. So my father, Denroy Morgan, may he rest in peace, kicked down the door to let them know, say Caribbean artists can go mainstream. Then you have, you find Popcorn, and then you find Damian Marley, you find Rihanna, you find so much artists, so we're proud of that. So it's a funny thing that when you look back on history, that I remember when Mojo was on the cover of Jet magazine with my father. Jet magazine, so it's just a little bit of history, you know?
I'm gonna look for that. I want to ask one question before you guys perform. I want to ask a question to somebody in the audience. Do we have anybody from the continent of Africa in here right now? Like, what do you guys think about Morgan Heritage doing this album? How do you feel about it? You can't answer?
A beautiful thing. Very, very beautiful. Thank you. Which country is he from?
Which one you come from?
Nigeria. All right.
Nigerian us. Big up, he's a Nigerian man.
Check this. This one's called Just a Number.
We now see the world through brand new eyes. Oh, yeah.
Don't be just a number.
Your friends call you outside. You think you reach, yeah. Look at the bigger pictures. Them are we are just a number. I said we live in worth a thing. And we won't fail and we have a thing. Them are a track and all sorts of things. Well, them collect the ring. Them are we are just a number. I said we live in worth a thing. Position up power, you control everything. If we know up there, then we don't reach nowhere. Sign a lifetime contract. You still have a boss.
Still have a boss.
And if you violate your contract, you will lose it all.
We'll lose it all.
Yeah, don't be blinded by the few that they let through to brandish billions, even billions. It's all about how they better have us chasing dreams of fiction. Yeah, we are just a number. And so we live in words a team. And if we want fame, then we have to sing.
get too deep. Go to the streets, will lay you up, put you 6 foot deep. Hustle day and night just to survive. Make a mistake, become enough of a life, yeah. Hustle with them and work a team. And if we want fame, then we have to sing. Play ball, run track and all sorts of things. While you collect the ring, then we are just a number. I say we name and work a team. Position of power, it control everything. If we know up there, then we don't reach nowhere, then we don't reach nowhere.
So can we do a classic for you? Are you ready?
All of the Morgan Heritage fans, put your hands up in the air. Ready, DJ, ready. One time, hands up. Hands up.
Yeah. Give thanks and praise to the Lord and sin. God bless you all, everybody. Sin and see, I know, yeah. You don't have to try to be Rasta. You don't have to try. This is not a dreadlock thing. Different conception of your heart. Brixton massive when you say you don't have to try to be Rasta. Oh no, you don't have to try. This is not a dreadlock thing. Different conception of your heart. You hear me now? Listen to me. Don't be afraid of your heaven burning fire. Oh no. Trust in your fire and you'll never get burned. Oh yeah. The fire that brings over heat, air and water. Not to tell them, no water can put out your fire. Your fire gonna leave Rasta higher. You don't have to try to be Rasta.
Remember that it's
If you know reggae music, say yeah. If you know Heritage, say yes, Rasta. Somebody say yeah. Say yeah. Say yeah. And if you know it, say along. I'll be down by the river, waiting for the good Lord to pass my way. Oh yeah, I'll be down by the river, singing songs of joy on this lovely day. Some are gonna heritage sing. Oh yeah. We singing bells told me. That's sunrise. What do I hear Gramps sing?
I heard about this thing long time ago, but never had a thing I believed in my soul. Yeah, listen, that Mother Nature said to me, they were singing your song, singing in the soul. Now I'm on my way. Anyone come to see us today? Tell them I'm dealing with my people in Brixton.
God bless you all for Morgan Heritage. The new album is called the Homeland.
That really know this thing, the struggles of this music. Support those that support you. You see Morgan Heritage, they will run into every pirate radio station. They will run into the local food shop there. They show love to you guys. A lot of your artists don't come to which part you there. Me say so. Me tell them, come find the people them. Who do you sing the songs for? It's for Uno. So you see like how they're here? You lot support them and keep them on that pedestal so we can keep